Hey everyone, welcome back. It is time for another wrestling review, our only review of the week. It is New Japan, which we haven't done a New Japan in a while. They are doing their annual Sakura Genesis show. With me once again, we have Campo.Reviews, the man who reviews movies, TV shows, wrestling, everything else in between. You want to go follow him, go check out his stuff down in the description box down below. While you're there, make sure you give this video a like, share this video, comment, help out that algorithm. Let's keep growing this channel for 2025. So with me, Campo, Sakura Genesis. We haven't done a New Japan show in quite a while.
I don't think it's been that long.
I think it's been a while. Been
It's
a
been a
while.
while. Nice.
Yeah, exactly. I think the last time, New Beginning was the last New Japan show we did, and that was in February.
It was like a week ago.
New Beginning Osaka was February 10th.
Yeah, you would say that.
Exactly. Yeah, there hasn't been much shows going on. I mean, there was the New Japan Cup going on at that time, so
It's factual.
yeah. And they also announced all the contestants for the Super Juniors.
We'll get there when we get there.
We'll get there when we get there. Let's start off pre-show. Was it Murashima against Nagai?
Hey,
Couple young
they
lions.
tried.
Yeah, they
I'll
tried. There
give them
was
effort. It's better than watching the DKC.
true. This is just a young lions match.
They put some effort into it. Good for them.
Yeah. And Murashima wins by submission. Then they
It's
go on. Was it a
it's what I
40
want to
minute?
see.
Yeah. And
That's
they
what I
went on
want
a
to
40
see.
minute. They went on a 40-minute break after that.
Yeah, of course they did.
Yep. Our boy is back though,
Name one.
Chris Charlton.
Yep. It's
So
about time.
it's about time.
You notice it right. You don't even notice when he's gone, but when he comes back, you're like, oh yeah, that's why it's been weird.
That's why it's been weird. Exactly. So we'll go into our main card. Our first match was Sonata versus Yuya Uemura. New look
Um,
for Sonata. He stole Seth Rollins' red boots there.
Yeah, he's like some weird mix of Seth Rollins and Jeff Jarrett, and I don't understand it. It's okay. It's
Yeah.
fine. I'm kind of liking the character.
Yeah.
Um, the match was fine. Yeah, I thought it would be a lot better. Yuya doesn't look. I don't want to say he doesn't look 100%, but
But
like
he
this
doesn't
was
look there yet.
it does this definitely was not his best match.
Yeah.
And Sonata seems very okay with just existing at this point.
Yeah, he's just like mid-card fodder now.
Yeah, he basically turned into Taichi.
Yeah. But Yuya does get the win on this. This was a match set up during the New Japan Cup because Sonata said you didn't pin me clean or something like that, and this was Yuya trying to prove that he can beat Sonata.
Yep. A lot of Sonata.
Yeah, and it's still just four guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said there won't be a fifth guy. That's
No,
basically what they
yeah,
explained.
they're keeping it four guys now. So. Yeah, and Yuya wins. So with that, second match of the night, El Phantasmo defending the World Television Championship against the Great Okan.
I don't want to say this match was bad because it wasn't. So like the way I'm going to talk about it's going to seem like that, but it was a perfectly okay match. I think El Phantasmo did a really good job.
Hmm.
I'm starting to get a little bit frustrated with Great O'Khan, and like there's two options for him. You either get a boring match or they make it a plunder match.
Yeah,
And
like
that's
a
it's
like a
still
comedy
boring by
match.
him,
Yeah,
but it's just now there's things breaking and like flying through chairs.
yeah. That was pretty awesome seeing ELP jump across and landing in the seats with.
ELP is really good.
Yeah,
He's very good. There's nothing we can say that to deny him. It's just I'm getting tired of the there's only two types of Great O'Con
fun
matches.
matches.
It's basically like John Moxley. You get a
Yeah,
boring in-ring match or you get a plunder match.
yeah.
There's no other option.
And this is being recorded on the Sunday, so the day after the event, but it's also the day of AEW Dynasty. And you think, and with Swerve and him in the main event, that's going to be a plunder fest.
I'm okay with it because the rest of the card doesn't seem like it's going to be that.
I think the trios match will be.
It could be, but I'm not going to go into that.
But we'll talk about it another time. But odd thing is, Great O'Con wins by countout.
Yeah, so clearly you do the count out, right?
Hmm.
To keep to make a ELP look good.
Yeah,
But my thing is, are they making him look good on his way out? Is he going to AEW or something? Because there's no reason for him to have lost the belt here.
yeah, absolutely no reason, especially not to Great O'Con.
Oh, especially when he has all those like shows coming up.
Hmm.
I don't know if he's on MLP's show coming up, but he's on a bunch of like indie shows coming up, and like, wouldn't
Yeah.
you want him to have the belt to like,
Showcase it.
yeah, to showcase it, to promote New Japan? Because Great Okan never wrestles anywhere except New Japan.
AEW.
Well,
He only wrestles AEW during Forbidden Door season
yeah,
anyway, so
exactly.
it's yeah. Yeah, this didn't make sense to me at all.
It's a weird choice. I understand how much they like Great Okan and they want to give him shine,
Hmm.
but you could have at least had ELP win this match and then lose it later. The sudden, like, the abruptness of him losing it and the way he lost it makes me
Yeah,
genuinely feel like
he's
he's
on the
out the
way out.
door.
He's on the way out. I think so too. I think so too. So Great O'Khan, your new Japan World Television Champion now.
Whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Tanahashi versus Shota Umino. The retirement tour continues.
Um, One of the better
Tanahashi
Tanahashi
match. Yeah.
matches because he just took a lot of bumps for Shota. I don't.
Dressed up as Terry Beauregard from
Yeah,
Fatal Fury.
I mean, that was okay. That's pretty cool. Maybe hopefully there's like DLC in Fatal Fury where you can get like
Well, I know
the
Cristiano
wrestlers.
Ronaldo's in, I think, in the new one.
That is weird.
Yeah. Because they
I'll
had the
I'll
producer of the game on the show earlier too.
I'll probably buy it because I haven't played one of those games in forever.
Well, this is the first Fatal Fury game in 26 years, they said.
Yeah, because a lot of those characters were showing up in King of Fighters
Yeah.
instead of being
It
in
is
the
an
actual
SNK
game.
game, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because they I watched the whole thing about it. Something like they because they weren't as popular, so they just took the best characters from the game and put it into King of
King
Fighters.
of Fighters. Okay. I know a couple of them. Didn't a couple of them make an appearance? No, that's the guys from Final Fight that made it in Street Fighter because that's Capcom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there is more Capcom versus SNK,
SNK,
which
yeah.
they're in those ones. Anyways,
Moving on. Yeah,
it was okay match.
yeah,
I don't get what they're doing with Shota. Even what happens later, I still don't
yeah. I
understand
don't
it. It's
understand it.
kind of like I don't know.
It's a weird position for him to be in, and now he's got this buzzed head too.
It's a weird thing for me to even say this because it's like not something you just like it just happens, but I think I'm done with Shota. Like I just don't care about him at
I
all.
don't care about his character anymore. He needs a refresh or a rebrand or something.
And he's not doing anything like match wise that's like making
Hmm.
me be like, oh, I gotta watch this guy. It's starting to become one of those things where I every time I see there's a Shota match, which we'll talk about later, the one that's coming,
Hmm.
you lost my interest for that match. Like I
Yeah,
just don't want to watch him even wrestle. Like I'd rather fast forward the whole match.
yeah. Watch it in 2x speed, right?
I'd rather just not even watch it, just
Watch it.
skip.
Yeah, because Shota Umino does go over surprisingly.
Yeah, but I think he's starting to realize Tanahashi's starting to realize that he needs to start losing matches.
Yeah, but yeah, Umino goes over. So with that, we got our six-man tag team match for the Never Openweight Six-Man Tag Team Championship. House of Torture members Narita, Sho, and Takahashi defending against the Bullet Club War Dogs members Gabe Kidd, Drew Maloney, and Taiji Ishimori.
And I didn't even know about this match, and I got really excited. This should have been an excellent match. This should have been great, and it was not good at all.
No, it wasn't. It was your typical House of Torture shenanigans match.
Yeah. And it like overshadowed everything. Like any good moment that happened in ring was overshadowed by like some dumb thing happening immediately after it.
Yep. That's exactly it. This was, this was to me, I put down this was a bit of a slog to watch.
It was. And I think at this point of the show, like I was gonna wait till the end to talk about it, but at this point of the show, I became very disinterested in
Hmm.
having seeing ELP lose the belt and then watching like three okay matches in a row. I was like struggling to pay attention. I had to keep
Hmm.
rewinding the matches because I would pull out my phone and stop paying attention to what
Yeah.
was happening.
When did you watch it? Because I binged it. Like I watched a couple
I
matches
watched
last night and then binged it this morning.
I watched like 80% of it yesterday and I
Mm,
watched the last two matches today.
yeah. Yeah, it was a bit of a slog. Yeah, but typical but the win does come when Sonata, after all the tension that was going on during the New Japan Cup, he turns on the Bullet Clubs and joins House of Torture.
He turns on Bullet Club and joins Bullet Club.
Yeah. Well,
I
he turns
kind
on the War Dogs and joins House of Torture.
Yeah, I guess that's just what they're doing now. That we're back to like the all elite, whatever,
Yeah.
the golden elite and shit. But
I don't get it. Like, Sonata has changed factions 4 times in the last 2 years.
yeah, and it's all been in bad faith. None of them have been in good faith.
Yeah.
And it was weird what they did because his turn on LIJ was completely in bad faith, and then he also just became a face as soon as the whole faction of
He
just
became,
five
yeah,
guys became a
because
face.
they were feuding against the House of Torture.
That's what I mean, though. So how do you make a heel move and then immediately become a face,
Yeah. And you went from being a heel to being a heel now.
and then to being a bigger heel? He went from
Yeah.
heel to face to heel to bigger heel.
Yeah. I
I don't
don't get
know.
it.
I mean, I'm okay with it positioning wise
Hmm.
in terms of like the storyline they're trying to tell, but I don't get it from Sonata.
Yeah. What are
Uh,
they doing with
and
him?
and having that the War Dogs trio win would have made a lot more sense to me.
Yeah. Double belt Gabe Kidd, man. Push him to the moon. Strap the rocket
And
on him.
all of those guys deserve a belt, where on the other side, other than Show, none of them deserve a belt
Yeah.
at this point. Like I don't
But
see
maybe Narita. I would argue for
Narita,
Narita.
I don't know. We'll debatable.
Yeah. But yeah, House of Torture retained because of the interference from Sonata. Where
Uh,
is Jake Lee? We haven't seen him in a year.
Injured.
But is it that serious of an injury that we haven't that he won't even like because Connors is injured too, but he still shows up with the group.
Maybe he has prima donna syndrome. He was
Maybe.
like a really, 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 really. He was the biggest name in an entire company.
Yeah. So with that, after the match, we get the announcement for the best of the Super Juniors. Was it 25 this year
Hmm.
or 35?
It's their, I think it's 25.
Yeah, best of Super Juniors.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
So a couple names, we get even though he is signed, he is officially signed with All Elite, isn't he?
Yes, and
What's his
he
name?
Kevin Knight, and he doesn't
Kevin.
get listed as that.
No, he gets listed as New Japan, doesn't he?
Okay, and did you notice the other one?
Kushida,
No. Keep going.
Ninja Mac
Yeah,
was listed as a New Japan talent.
because I'm pretty sure he signed to New Japan now, and we just don't know about it.
Is that why we haven't seen him on Noah in a while?
It could be. And
Ninja Mac, if you're watching, let us know. Like, shoot us a comment down below saying where you are right
I
now.
noticed also that there's nobody from Noah or All Japan on this list, and both of
No.
those companies are lightly in works with AAA and WWE or
Yeah.
TNA.
We do get one name from
We got Dragon Gate and we got,
DDT, don't we?
yeah, Dragon Gate and DDT, but we didn't get any Noah.
Well, I mean, DDT is part of that. I
Technically,
mean,
yes, but they're not working with WWE.
that's true. Yeah, we got Dragon Dia and we got a Mao, which
Which
that
that
should be.
one that made me really happy.
Yeah, that one should be fun to watch.
And Nick
So,
Wayne, good for Nick Wayne.
yeah.
This might be what he needs to put him over the hump because he's been pretty stale.
Super Juniors 32. I'm trying to find Timmy's trying to find it. Thank you, Timmy. He has it. Okay.
Young
So
Timothy.
let's go over it. We have El Desperado, who on his background graphic shows New Japan, Master Wato, Hiromu Takahashi, Kushida, Taguchi, Yo, Kevin Knight, Ninja Mac, and like you said, yeah, I see it here. The background is New Japan. Koze Fujita, Robbie Eagles, Taiji Ishimori, Bushi, Francesco Akira, Clark Connors, Sho, Kanemaru, Dragon Dia. It says CMLL will be sending a representative, but we don't
Yeah,
know
they
who.
haven't named it yet.
Most likely
It's
it'll
gonna
be
be
Titan.
Teton.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's Titan.
It has to
Has
be.
to
He
be.
almost won last year.
Yeah. Mao and Nick Wayne.
I mean, let's be honest. That's
That's
one
a
of the most
stacked
stacked
card.
lineups we've ever seen for it.
Yeah. And I'm excited to see Ninja Mac in this.
I mean, mind you, we've seen him in one of the tournaments before, and he just lost the whole time. So there's a good
That
chance
was
that
a
he just.
was that the tag or was
It
that
might have been tag.
junior tag?
I don't. He might have been in juniors last year.
Maybe. But yeah, I'm excited for the Super Juniors. So with that, let's move on to our next match. Konosuke Takesha versus Roihei Oiwa for the Never Openweight Championship. And boy, did Chris Charlton bite his tongue on this today. mentioning Kenny Omega.
This was the best match
Match on
probably
the
on the card.
and it's Takeshita. There's no denying that even Charlton was saying Takeshita is probably the best wrestler in the world right now.
I actually was really worried that they were going to take the belt off him.
You think so?
Yeah, and I was like, it's way too soon. You
It's too
can't do it
soon. He
yet.
just lost the belt to Omega, so they wouldn't take this off of him just yet.
You got to make him. You got to make him ride this until Forbidden Door, I think,
Yeah.
and then you can have him lose it there.
We'll probably get what? Takeshita versus Tanahashi?
Yeah, I hope not.
That's what it'll probably
It'll
be.
most likely be Oiwa again.
Yeah. And this way Oiwa gets the little rub after that.
Yeah.
Okay. But Takeshita does win this match. This was, like you said, probably the best match on the card. Other than that, like when this is the best match on the card, and this still wasn't Takeshita's best match.
No.
Yeah. But another thing too, I noticed all these, this was a 4 hour show. Every match was 10 minutes.
Yeah, and somehow it felt like the longest show I ever watched in my entire life.
Yeah, it did. There was a lot of in between entrances, stuff like that. Like, yeah, it was 2, 4, yeah, just 4.5 hours almost.
40 minutes of it was intermission.
Yeah. So with that, we got the IWGP Tag Team Championship on the line. LIJ, Naito, and Takahashi defending against Jeff Cobb and Caleb Newman. They are really pushing Caleb Newman to the moon.
Well, we know that if due to the outcome of this match, that Jeff Cobb probably isn't going to WWE.
He probably re-signed
He did mention, by the way, that he was never planning on going to WWE. He was always he keeps saying that he's staying in New Japan.
in
So I
New
don't know.
Japan.
We'll see what happens. I'm not going to speculate on that. Um,
But do you think to maybe like they United Empire win? You think this is just to sweeten the deal to keep Cobb around
Maybe, or maybe it's to put shine on Caleb Newman being the youngest. I think if they waited any longer, he wouldn't have been the youngest. So they had to do it right now.
right now? Because
Um,
Caleb Newman officially is the youngest ever tag team champion.
Also, the other two didn't even need a belt. That was a double. That win was for two things: one, to give Naito another career rub,
Hmm.
and to make Takahashi win a heavyweight belt because he
Yeah.
hadn't won a heavyweight belt, right? So it adds to his fucking career. Because I don't think the Bucks should have lost the belts in the first place.
No.
Um, I understand this passing of it because they just want to move on from whatever Naito's doing, which I actually think that I don't want to
Something's
say
up.
it's all the way, but I think that some of it is storyline based. That he can't do the
The Destino.
Destino. I think is like because they keep mentioning it in this match that he's
Yeah.
still having struggling to do it.
I
Like
also
I'm
think it's a little bit of a work and a shoot
yeah.
because I think Naito is still not at 100%.
No, but I think it's like they're trying to tell some kind of storyline where he just can't do it properly.
Yeah.
But
It's also to protect the injury a little bit, I guess, right?
this was the best match that Naito and Takahashi have
Hmm.
wrestled as like that they've wrestled, not wrestled someone wrestled
Yeah.
against them very well.
But the way they wrestled, yeah.
Yeah. This was definitely their best tag match.
No. Agreed.
I mean, yeah, like at this point, like I said, it's still like we're fine, even with the Takahashi match or the
Takeshita.
Keshida match. I still was like so bored at this pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was not the most interesting. And with that, new champs, United Empire, Jeff Cobb and Caleb Newman. So good on them. So IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship match, Yota Tsuji defending against Evil. Nice little bait and switch at the beginning.
Yeah.
Who knew Yota Tsuji had a twin brother?
There I think they've done this already. So I'm pretty sure I knew that because I feel like
Hmm.
it felt like deja vu watching this with him.
What did Yogi Berra say? Deja vu all over again?
Exactly. The I don't know. I didn't really like this match. It was fine. Yoda was good. Evil was good, but the
A
shenanigans
typical,
is
again,
just
House of Torture
and it
shenanigans
never
match.
stopped. There was never like a point where it's like, okay, we're just gonna have some match. Every time something match based happened, there was immediately followed by shenanigan.
Yeah, he's the newest member of the House of Torture shenanigan.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, again, it was all shenanigans. Yoda Suji, they really are. He is like he's their next big guy. Like I think they're pushing him to the moon as well.
Yeah, and
And
that's fine with me
yep.
because sorry, go.
Yeah, I was gonna say Suji does retain in this match, and we get his next challenger.
Go tell him.
It's Yuya.
And I think this is a smart move
Hmm.
to try and get a couple of good matches. I think, but knowing New Japan, they have this problem where they don't turn it into a series. They'll just have him win on the first match and then it's over.
Unlike what they're doing with Takeshita and Oiwa.
We don't even know if that's the case yet,
Yeah, that's true.
right? But this frees up Oiwa to have that title battle with him
Right.
that doesn't have to end with one of those other guys not having something to do because now those two guys are in their own feud. Red Narita has a trios belt,
Hmm.
and Umino is gonna fight. We know, well, spoilers, he's gonna fight
Yeah,
for the world title, but we'll
he's
talk
gonna
about that
fight for the world
after.
title. Yeah.
And Fujita's doing his own thing right now, which is fine. Like they're
Yeah.
all taken up.
Fujita's got his belt with Robbie Eagles right now.
Yeah, which is fine. It's good,
Yeah.
right? It's all everyone's tied up in with a nice little bow, and it's
But
making
everyone,
sense.
I'm interested in every storyline here except the Shota storyline.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. We'll talk about that now as we get into this match, but
Yeah. But this match, like you said, typical House of Torture Shenana guy. Yuya comes out. He challenges for the belt next, and you think they're going to do a switch here?
I mean, if you go through New Japan's track record, there's a good chance of it. It
Okay.
doesn't mean it will
Well,
happen.
we'll talk about what my theory might be at the end of the show. So with that, our main event, Hiroki Goto defending against David Finlay.
I thought this was one of the better David Finlay matches I've watched in a
Hmm.
long time. This match was actually really good.
Hiroki Goto was great here as well.
I mean, I can't really knock anything here. This was a
Yeah,
definitely a pretty solid match. It was a solid 4-star match.
yeah. Typical. It's a typical Goto match. A lot of heavy hitting. A lot of what I liked about this match was no outside interference.
No, and he busted out a few of his old school moves that he doesn't
Hmm.
do anymore, which was nice to see.
Yeah. So this was a fun match, but in the end, though, Hiroki Goto gets the win. I honestly thought this was going to be one of the title changes.
I thought so, but then I realized towards the end of the match that they can't do it. They literally can't.
You
Like
think
it
Finley's out the door?
No, but it just he can't happen yet.
No, it's too soon for Goto to
Yeah,
lose the belt.
Goto's gonna carry this all the way till whatever the last pay-per-view of the year is, or Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, you think Goto's going to have that long of a run with it?
He's either going to, I don't know what's next, Dominion or Dontaku, whichever one's
I think
the last.
Dominion is next.
So then he's gonna keep whichever one is the last one of those two. He'll
Well,
keep it
there's
till then
well,
probably.
he's not gonna work Windy City Riot. Dontaku is the next one.
What do you mean? I swear the match against Umino's at Windy City Riot.
No, it's at Don't. Yeah, it's at Windy City Riot.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
he's
we
gonna
get
win.
Umino challenging, which makes no sense.
He will win.
Umino's gonna win this?
No, no. Goto
Goto.
will win. Goto will face someone else at Dontaku, and then at Dominion he'll have a rematch with Umino, and maybe Umino wins.
Okay.
Or
Unless it's a
Umino, or if it goes all, if his reign goes to Wrestle Kingdom, Umino will win the G1 tournament and then beat him at Wrestle Kingdom.
but if Umino wins the G1, I'm not interested in that anymore. You had the
That's
chance to pull the trigger with Umino a year ago, and it's too late now.
Yeah, but this is what they do. Just get
Yeah.
used to it.
But yeah, so we do get Umino. Yeah, and I think they're gonna do the title change here. So right now, set up for Windy City Riot, basically next week, Takeshita versus Tanahashi. Takeshita's losing this match.
Is this so? Hold on, before we even talk about that. Okay, go. Actually, yeah, say that
Yeah,
again.
because this is Tanahashi's last ever match in the United States.
Against who? Takeshita.
Takeshita for the Never
Takeshita's gonna
Open.
win.
You think so?
Yeah,
Kid versus Ishii 30-minute Iron Man match for the strong.
Cade wins.
Yeah. Goto versus Umino for the belt.
Goto wins. And I'll
Okay.
tell you, I'll tell you what's gonna happen though. Goto's gonna win, and then Death Riders are gonna come out, and Umino's gonna join the Death Riders.
Really? Okay. Phantasmo and Rocky Romero versus Naito and Titan.
Naito and Teton.
Uh, World Class Wrecking Crew against Knight and Kushida for the strong tag belts.
Knight and Kushida.
Shirakawa versus Azumi to determine the number one contender to face Monet for the strong belt.
Azumi.
I say Shirakawa.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I think Azumi's finally going to win the belt.
I think it's Shirakawa facing Monet again, and she wins the belt back, or the belt she was supposed to win in the first place.
I don't know. Shirakawa seems to have settled into a place of putting people over.
Okay. I'd like to see Azumi, don't get me wrong, but yeah. And Goto, he's only had the belt for 55 days, so yeah. But other than that, this was a pretty lackluster show. I was expecting so much more from this,
Yeah, it was
especially the fact that we haven't had really a New Japan show since, what did I say? Since New
February
Beginning?
something.
Yeah.
It was very just a very baseline boring show, like
And
from
that was a
start to
very good
finish.
show too, that Osaka show.
Like for to sit through this straight for 4 hours would have been psychotic.
Yeah,
Like
no.
I wouldn't
Luckily,
have
I
been able to
watched
do it.
it in chunks, so this way I could just fast forward through all the intros, fast forward through all the non-wrestling.
Surprisingly, I didn't even do that.
Really?
I just let it play. But there was a lot of rewinding.
Yeah, because all in all, there was 120, maybe 2 hours and 10 minutes worth of wrestling on this show, on a 4.5 hour show. Yeah,
Yeah,
they gotta calm down a little bit with that. But all in all, what would you rate this show?
7-2.
Yeah, I'm there with you. I gave this a 7-1. It just couldn't hold my interest.
Like it wasn't the worst. It definitely was a good enough show for that you could watch it.
Hmm.
The matches weren't necessarily bad. There was some good storytelling elements, but just there was this vibe of boring
Yeah,
for the whole thing.
especially once I saw the Umino match, I'm like, I don't care about
The,
Umino.
the tone the tone of the show was ruined by the first four matches.
Hmm. Because after that, the show did pick up a little bit, but it just wasn't at that point. It was too
If you were
late.
watching but that's what I'm saying. If you watch this straight, like today, watching the final two matches was fine. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
this is what it is.
it was decent. Yeah,
But then if you watch this all the way through after those first four, you're sleeping through
yeah.
all the good
Your interest
matches.
is gone. Yeah,
The House of Torture shit needs to stop. It's just like you're
yeah.
not even we don't even get matches anymore.
No, and how many members do they have now?
They're the biggest group for sure. For sure.
House of Torture, right? I'm looking. Timmy's on it. He's gonna let you know how many members are in the House of Torture. Come on, Timmy. What you doing? Okay, so you got Dick to Go, Evil, Ren Narita, Sonata, Sho, Kanemaru, and Takahashi.
And Peter.
And Peter. Yeah, well, Peter goes with
Peter goes where the wind goes.
yeah, with Takahashi. But yeah, it's an as much as we love factions, I think this factions so now you have two guys from Just Five Guys in House of Torture, if you really think about it. Because what, now Sonata and Kanemaru are friends again?
And
After
you
Kanemaru
have
turned
Ren
on
Narita, which so that's two people from Suzuki Gun,
yeah, that's right.
right? Because Kanemaru and him were both in
Both part
Suzuki
of
Gun.
Suzuki-gun too. So weird. I don't get it. But anyway, with that out of the way, guys, thanks again for joining us. Tune in next week. Next week, Campo and I will have our AEW Dynasty review main event of John Moxley versus Swerve Strickland. We got a busy few weeks coming up. We got Dynasty next week. There's Windy City Riot. TNA has their pay-per-view. And then there's WrestleMania in 2 weeks, I guess, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So it'll be a pretty busy couple weeks. And then on May 10th, Campo and I will be going to Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling down at Maple Leaf Gardens with a 20-man gauntlet battle royal of who do we got? We got Bishop Dyer, former Baron Corbin. Who else we got in this match? Matt
few guys,
Cardona.
couple guys here, couple guys there.
Yeah, Matt Cardona. Most like we might get Kiyomiya. I'm hoping for Kiyomiya.
I hope for Kiyomiya as well.
Yeah, I'd like to see Kiyomiya because he was at the other one in Windsor, so let's hope he sticks around for this one.
I hope I get Takeshita versus Kiyomiya.
You think we'll get Takeshita for that?
I mean, he came to the last two.
That's true. That's true. Takeshita did come to the last two. We also got what is it we got? We got the Giselle Shaw versus Kylie Ray for the
Yeah, and then there's another women's match of like two big name people.
yeah, I sent it to you the other day. I'm actually gonna look that up right now. Timmy. Come on, Timmy. Where are you at? With multiple things, it's hard to find it sometimes. Oh, we got Yamashita versus Serena Deeb.
Yeah, I mean, not the big Serena Deeb fan, but
But
whatever.
we got Yamashita. This is the
Yeah,
first time we'll ever get to see her.
probably the last time.
The only time we'll ever get to see her
Yeah.
in person. Yeah, so look forward to that. So we'll actually be reviewing that MLP show when we go.
Well, yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah, so because we're actually going to that show, so we'll be there for that. We might throw in a couple shorts on that show too. And then at the end of May, I'm going to the Niagara Comic Con.
He'll be there. He's
Yeah,
gonna
I'll
see
be there.
Ric Flair.
Yeah, no, Rick, not no Ric Flair. The Steiners will be there though.
This is Rick Steiners.
Rick Steiners, yeah, and Kurt Angles.
The Kurt Angles, all the
All
angles.
four of them.
That's crazy.
Here's a little funny piece of pop culture for you guys. Kurt Angle's niece is married to the Punisher, John Barenthal.
Really?
Yeah,
That's. Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah. Kurt Angle's brother, Eric Angle, his daughter is married to John Barenthal. So technically, Barenthal's uncle-in-law is Kurt Angle.
Well, technically, Kurt Angle and his brother are part of the group in Foxcatcher where the guy got shot,
Yes, and it's
and he's not in the movie.
no, he's not. But, so keep tuned to this channel for all kinds of fun little tidbits like that and more wrestling reviews in the month of April as we build up to WrestleMania, our two-night extravaganza. Um, we'll see what kind of reviews we can get out for you that we may have the first night for you right away, but the second night may wait a little bit. So we're not 100% sure. I work, so it's hard. So thanks again for joining us. And in the words of Kenny Omega, goodbye and good night.